Hello, friends, and welcome to Sleep Tight Stories. Are you ready for Halloween? Bernice is, and she can't wait to go trick-or-treating. When Bernice gets home from school, she shows Papa Bear her costume, and they talk about her day at school before getting ready to head out trick-or-treating. After they come back home and get ready for bed, Bernice asks for a spooky story as Papa Bear tucks her in. Bernice goes trick-or-treating. Bernice slowly opened the front door to her house and walked in as quietly and as carefully as she could. The only sound that you could hear as she came into the front foyer was the sound of her belly gurgling, caused by the sweet smell of baked cookies coming from the kitchen, and her quiet giggles because of what she was going to do. She walked slowly on her tippy toes down the hallway while Mama Bear quietly closed the front door. As she finally got to the kitchen where Papa Bear was making cookies, she raised her arms up in front of her and, not being able to wait any longer, quickly jumped into the kitchen and yelled, "Boo!" "Ah!" Papa Bear yelled as he jumped in the air. "There's a ghost in my kitchen," Papa Bear yelled, pretending to be very, very scared. "I hope you are a friendly ghost because you look very spooky." Taking off the top to her ghost costume, Bernice said, "Papa, are you okay? It's me. You don't need to be scared." "Phew. So you are a friendly ghost then. I didn't really believe in ghosts until today, little bear." "I'm sorry, Papa. It's a really great costume, isn't it? I won the prize for the spookiest costume in the contest at school today, and Mama Bear picked me up from school so that I could come home and scare you. And Papa, look, I got a whole bunch of candy," Bernice said, as she held out a paper bag full of all kinds of different treats. "She is having a great day," Mama Bear said. "Well, it's a great costume, little bear. You had me convinced that ghosts were real. Are you going to share some of those chocolates you got with Papa Bear?" he asked, smiling. "I guess since I was so spooky, I should share some of my chocolate." "Those cookies certainly smell yummy, Papa. What kind are they?" "They are called spider cookies. Why don't you have a seat and I will give you some spiders and milk?" "Eating spiders sounds kind of fun, I guess," laughed Bernice. As she was eating her cookies, she said to Papa Bear, "Guess what Bobby's costume was this year?" "You will never be able to guess," Mama Bear said. Let me see. Was he dressed as a witch?" "No, he wasn't. You get 3 guesses, and that was your first one. What do I get if I guess correctly?" Bernice thought for a moment. I could give you another Halloween candy." "Sounds good." "Okay, was Bobby dressed up like a spooky skeleton?" "No, but that's getting warmer, I guess." "Oh, I know what he was. Did he dress up as a vampire?" "Nope, he dressed up as a dinosaur." "Oh, Papa, I'm afraid you didn't win the chocolate, but I'm going to give another chocolate to you and Mama because I love you and because I am a good winner." "Thank you, little bear. I would never have guessed that Bobby would get dressed up as a dinosaur for Halloween," Papa Bear laughed as he went upstairs to get changed. "Once you finish up your cookies and milk, you and Papa can get ready to go outside and do some trick-or-treating, and then you can come back and have a later dinner. How does that sound, Bernice?" Mama Bear asked. "That sounds like fun," Bernice said, getting excited. "I haven't gone out for treats in what feels like a whole year." I'm going to put on my witch's hat and hand out candy to the kids while you and Papa are outside visiting the neighbors." Putting on her tall, pointy hat, Mama Bear asked, "Do I look spooky, Bernice?" "Sure, Mama, but I think you need a broomstick." "Well, I wouldn't want to scare all the kids away," Mama Bear said, laughing. Coming down the stairs and walking into the kitchen, Papa Bear said, "Are you ready to go, my little spooky ghost?" "Papa, what are you dressed up as?" Bernice said with a laugh. "You mean you don't know?" "Nope," Bernice said, shaking her head. "I'm dressed up as that toy cowboy in the movie we watched a long time ago." "A cowboy, Papa? But that's not very scary or spooky," Bernice said, not convinced that it was the best choice of costume. "Well, not every costume has to be spooky, little bear. We can dress up as whatever we want, as long as we are having good fun. I've been looking for an opportunity to wear this cowboy hat I found at the thrift store for years now." "You look pretty cool, Papa," Bernice said, jumping up and down. "Can we go outside now, Papa?" "Let's go, friendly ghost." After all the trick-or-treating was over, Papa Bear and Bernice came home and shared the adventure they had with Mama Bear. "You should have seen the robot costume, Mama. It was super realistic." After dinner, it was time for bed. "Can I wear my dog bone pajamas, Papa? I think they kind of seem like a skeleton costume." "Sure thing, little bear." After putting on her pajamas, Bernice jumped into bed while Papa Bear tucked her in tight. Quietly, Papa Bear asked, "Did you have fun this evening, little bear?" "I certainly did, Papa. It was great to meet my friends in the neighborhood, and all the houses were super spooky with lights, goblins, and all kinds of stuff. I had fun with Bobby and Gertrude, too. Bobby certainly loves pretending he is a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and Gertrude's hedgehog costume was so super cool, and I think she made it herself." "But, Papa, I have a question." "What's that, little bear?" "Do I really need to save my candy, or can I eat it all tomorrow?" "You really need to save it, little bear. Halloween candy is a treat, and we only have so many treats every day. You have to leave room in your belly for good foods like vegetables and fruits." "Okay, Papa, I was just triple checking," as she snuggled under the covers. "Can you tell me a story tonight?" "Are you sure you want a story, little bear?" "Of course, Papa, but this time I want a spooky story." "Did you brush your teeth?" "Yes, and I did my best job." "Are you comfy and warm?" "Yes, Papa." "How about Twigga, Wolfie, and Madeline? Are they ready for a story too?" "I think they are." "Okay, give me a big hug and a kiss, and I'll tell you a story that is just a little spooky." "Thank you, Papa." Once upon a time, in a world full of magic and fun, there lived a brave little bear named Boo Boo. She lived in a large castle at the edge of a mystical forest. And in this forest, there were unicorns, fairies, gnomes, and all manner of insects, birds, and animals. It was a wonderful place. Her best friend was a young dragon named Kai Kai, and they liked to play as much as they could. The kingdom they lived in was full of people who lived in the meadows, those who lived in the hills, and those who lived in the forest, and they all lived in harmony. On this day, Boo Boo and Kai Kai were just flying back from helping Bixie clear some of the fallen leaves that had gathered around the special clearing in the forest, where he teaches all who want to learn, including Boo Boo. It was fall in the mystical forest, which means all the greens turn to brown and red. It also means that many of the leaves fall from the trees. I'm certainly glad you were there to help, Kai Kai. With your big breaths, we were able to tidy up Bixie's place in no time, Boo Boo said as they were flying back towards her castle. My big lungs do come in handy, Kai Kai replied. What's that stone structure just outside the grounds of your castle? He asked, pointing towards a run-down castle on the very far edge of the castle grounds. Why don't you land there and I will tell you all about it. They landed in a clearing just a short walk away. Getting off Kai Kai, Boo Boo said, "Do you believe in ghosts?" "I do, and I find ghosts a little too spooky," Kai Kai said. "Well, that old building up ahead is very difficult to see in the summer because of all the trees that surround it. But now that it is fall, it is much easier to see, and it is a good time to visit. Would you like to know what is so special about this particular castle?" "I guess so, but I have a feeling that I am not going to like your explanation." "Well," said Boo Boo, "this particular castle is rumored to be haunted by ghosts. Whenever fall comes, I would try to be brave and come with my friends to see inside the castle. But even though my father said it was safe and just a little run down, we never could walk in the front door." Crouching a little lower as if to hide behind the much smaller Boo Boo, Kai Kai asked, "Why couldn't you walk in the door?" "Because we heard the sounds of ghosts." "Okay, I knew I wouldn't like your explanation. How about we go to your castle now and see if there are any cookies to eat?" Kai Kai said, turning quickly to walk away. "Kai Kai, how can a great big dragon like you be scared of a ghost?" "Easy. Should we walk or fly over to your castle?" "Come on, Kai Kai. I'm older now and would like to once and for all see what is inside this old castle. Won't you come inside with me? You are probably too big to fit all the way inside the front door anyway." "Okay, but if I see a ghost, we are both flying out of here," Kai Kai warned. Boo Boo and Kai Kai slowly walked up the tree-lined path towards the front door. All the leaves were off the trees, leaving just the gray branches. And unlike other parts of the mystical forest, there were no flowers of any kind. Nothing green, not much color at all. "Do you hear that sound?" Boo Boo asked as they approached the front door. "Ooh, ooh." "I really think we should go now," Kai Kai said. Boo Boo walked to the door and pushed down on the lever that allowed her to open the door. It was a large, heavy door that let out a great big creaking sound as she pushed on it. "Ooh, ooh." "I'm going inside," Boo Boo said. "I wish you wouldn't," Kai Kai replied. Boo Boo walked in, and then there was silence. "Boo Boo, are you okay?" Kai Kai called out. "Kai Kai," Boo Boo said, sticking her head out of the door with a big smile on her face. "Stick your head inside and see what I found." Still a bit nervous, Kai Kai stuck his head inside the door and saw a number of glowing eyes staring at him. "What is that?" he asked. "It's a parliament of owls. All these years, the sounds that we have been hearing coming from this old castle have been a combination of the wind and this large family of owls who call this castle their home. And they are white like ghosts, too, Kai said, somewhat relieved. Well, that was fun, Boo Boo said. Now, how about we go have some fresh cookies before my father eats them all? Sounds good to me, Kai said, as they walked back down the path towards Boo Boo's far less spooky castle. And with that, Papa Bear gave Bernice a kiss on the forehead, adjusted her blanket, making sure that her friends were comfy too, turned off her lamp, and quietly whispered, "I love you, little bear." And that's the end of our story. Good night. Sleep tight.